Greetings, family. I am Erin Patten, and you already know what today is. Yes, it's Meta Monday, and I'm just going to jump right into it today so we can go ahead and get this inspiration, get these metaphysical tips so we can get going for our week ahead. And today we're going to talk about staying grounded. Last week we got into alignment. We talked a lot about the chakras, especially the root chakra, which is our foundation, for all that we do in our lives. The root chakra represents security, it represents safety. And, so much of that is tied to the inner child, the inner little girl that lives inside of us that needs to feel safe and secure. And in order to have that security, it's important to do these grounding exercises, to do grounding techniques to keep you feeling secure, keep you feeling safe so you're not prone to reactions, sort of the fight or flight, if you will. And that's really what we're going to discuss, is the science behind staying grounded and why it's important to stay grounded. So when you think about the brain, we have this section of our brain called the amygdala. And so the amygdala is part of the temporal part of the brain. And the amygdala essentially is what gets activated when we're, in fear or on attack, or need to just like jump over a 10-foot fence. If ever we were to be chased by a bear or a lion or something, if we were in the jungle. But in our modern times where we're living in homes in our neighborhoods and on Instagram or Facebook or something all day, the amygdala doesn't quite serve the right purpose in terms of that fight or flight, but it's still there and it still exists. So every time you're anxious or every time you're fearful, or if you get in a fight with your partner, or you getting into a altercation with your boss or your child, then the amygdala is activated, and you're into this mode of like anxiousness and anger and wanting to fight or fly or flee. And it's just not healthy, because once you kind of get into that mode, then it signals to the body that you're in this fight or flight mode, which then signals back to the amygdala to also keep you in that mind state, to keep you in that state. And essentially this fear state, this worrisome state is what so many of us exist in, especially in these uncertain times, when we really don't know what's going to happen day to day. We don't know what's going to happen with our jobs. We don't know oftentimes what's going to happen in our relationships. We don't know what's going to happen with the schools. There's so much uncertainty around us, but there's always uncertainty around us, because essentially life is unpredictable in that way. And in order to prepare for the unpredictability of life, we have to stay grounded. So yes, so that's what we needed to understand in terms of the science behind staying grounded, and the science behind the amygdala, and the science behind what your brain and your body is doing. And now it's important to tap into the divinity in you, the metaphysical aspect of you, to help center you, to help you stay grounded. And of course, one of the majority things that always people talk about when staying grounded is just meditation. It's just like sitting still, cutting off your phone, cutting off the TV, cutting off the lights, lighting some incense, lighting some candles, and just being in tune with yourself, saying affirmations, loving on yourself, taking a bath, just doing something that just affirms you. And another way that, I love to stay grounded is literally just walking outside barefoot, like putting my feet in the grass, like touching earth, touching the leaves of like the plants around me, or hugging a tree. I talked about that too. Like I love to hug trees and sit with trees. And that's such a beautiful way of staying grounded. And, there's always so many different exercises you can do in terms of your awareness. If you don't have a chance to like meditate or go outside, you can always just sit in a room and just be like, okay, like how many colors of blue, how many shades of blue are there in the room? Or, what am I smelling right now? What is that smell? Is that cinnamon? Is that nutmeg? Is that, or, tasting something that's really beautiful, like, a dark chocolate, or, just really paying attention to your senses and being present. That is also a really nice way of staying grounded and gaining back some of that security and releasing some of that anxiety, and I think that this is super important on a day-to-day basis to focus on being grounded. The more grounded you are, the more aware you are, the more loving you are, the more compassionate you are, and the less you are to flee the scene or fight somebody or get angry or get an attitude. And that's all we're about. We're just about these incremental day-to-day changes that come from within, that come from the metaphysical aspect of ourselves. And so I hope this is inspirational for you, helpful for you, encouraging for you, my sisters, because this is a beautiful day. This is a beautiful season, and you deserve to have it all. Have it all. Yes. Well, I love you. I love you. Stay grounded. Check out my website, erinpatten.com. Drop me a comment if you feel this. Share it with a friend so they can stay grounded this week, because you know what? We're on to bigger and better things in 2021. All right, peace.